This video is a little bit different than my regular videos. I'm not actually going out looking for a specific animal. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite places in the entire United States, and it requires a high clearance four-wheel drive vehicle to get there. And at some points, it's actually quite frightening because you're just hugging the side of a mountain. I'm going to bring you with me and show you this place because it's totally awesome. Come on, let's go. So this is the start of the trip, and I'm at about just over 7,000 feet above sea level. For all you people that are using the metric system, that's like around over 2,000 meters. And we're gonna climb up to over 10,000 feet in elevation, which is like around, is that around 3,000 meters? I don't know, my math is off. And when we get up that high, there's 40% less oxygen in the air. So it's kind of challenging to even walk around, and sometimes you'll just vignette out. But let's go check it out, come on. As we start our ascent, you can see the awesome little mountain town of Ouray, which is also known as the Switzerland of America for its incredible mountain views. In the winter, this entire mountain town transforms into an ice climbing mecca that is just absolutely stunning, and people show up from all over the world to climb the turquoise colored ice. But we're not here for the ice, so let's keep climbing up this mountain. Whoa, we're up really high. I don't know if you can tell, but right here is a straight drop down. And we gotta just hug this mountain as we're going. So either side, on the right, you have like the possibility of a landslide or a rock slide. And on the left, if you go off the edge because there's no guardrails, you go to your death. Oh, look at this river down here. Here, let me see. This is cool looking. You could fall to your death, but hey, let's slow down and take a closer look at what could be our impending doom. I can see the lower oxygen concentrations already working on my brain. It's really difficult not to find a view that is just spectacular, and this looks like the perfect spot to stop and grab a quick shot. I love taking pictures of old dirt roads, and being surrounded by massive rocky mountains covered with lush green foliage just makes you want to explore a little further ahead. What's waiting around the next corner? Let's push on and find out.
This looks really safe.
No, it doesn't. This might be the last video. Or it might not even show up. We might plummet over the edge to our doom. Let's be like Goofy the whole way down. As we continue to climb, the road gets narrower and narrower, and the large rocky outcropping on the right seems to get closer and closer. Your instinct is to just ever so slightly alter your course to the left, but that would have you and your vehicle possibly driving off the ledge and into that icy cold river below. But this white knuckle ride is only going to get scarier before it gets better, and trust me, the destination is totally worth the journey. And here's where you might start questioning the decision to make this climb, if you haven't already. That is an unbelievable amount of rock that we have to drive under, and this is no silky smooth ride either. The entire section of road under this massive chunk of rock is riddled with potholes deep enough to give you a mild case of whiplash. And yes, it's one lane here. Glad I'm not the Range Rover parked on that ledge. I wouldn't want to spend any extra time parked there. The remnants of an earlier form of life. You can see the Atlas Mill ruins up on the hill. This is one of the more mysterious ghost towns in the area. According to the U.S. Forest Service, a claim was filed to work this area in 1876, but production didn't start until 24 years later in 1900, and the operation didn't last very long. No one seems to know why the operation stopped, and it would appear as if whoever was working this mine wanted to get out really quickly. They left behind all sorts of mining gear, cables and buildings, all kinds of stuff. This might be worth a closer look at a later time in a different video. All right, we're almost to the top. And this is where the road actually starts to get really hairy. So let's go check it out. The dirt that once made up the road has now been magically transformed into mostly rocks. And it's a slow but steady climb from this point. But our journey up is almost complete. This is Yankee Boy Basin. An absolute paradise loaded with incredible photo opportunities. So let's go take some pictures. There are wildflowers everywhere as far as you can see. It's just unbelievable. So I'm gonna take some pictures. I got my 20mm 1.8, my D850 mounted on my tripod, and yes, I'm using my gimbal that's normally for like wildlife photography, but it works for this too. Come on, let's go check this stuff out. I set up and took this shot looking up towards the mountain peaks. Look at all those flowers. These are all wildflowers too. How awesome is that? Then look at those peaks. Notice how there are no trees up there? At that elevation, there's not enough moisture, warmth, or oxygen to support plant life. So we have all these wonderful plants sprouting up right below in this basin. This view is nice, but if you turn around and look back down, you get this incredible view. Whoa, look at that. This gives you a much better idea of how high up we are, and it's an incredible view back down. All those lush green plants kind of push your eyes down the valley. But here's something interesting. Here's the same shot from a little more to my right and from a higher tripod position. I like this angle just a little better because the plants have some strong leading lines that push you right towards the center of the image, and from there, my eyes just naturally flow to the incredible mountain peaks and that big blue sky. Wow, it's hard not to get lost in the beauty of this place. But let's have a closer look at some of these amazing flowers. This is a castalia flower, or more commonly referred to as Indian paintbrush. That vibrant red color provides an interesting contrast to all that green. Let's have a closer look at these pretty flowers. In this shot, you can see a few dandelion seeds holding on to the Indian paintbrush. That's just totally awesome. All right, let's check out another really cool flower. So there's this really cool flower in all of these other flowers. That's the Colorado state flower. It's actually called a columbine. So I'm going to show you in video. Come here. And I'm going to try to walk through here without stepping on any of these. There's one real pretty one over here that's purple and white. Look at this flower. So this is the columbine. And they're really cool. Look how the bottom has like these tendrils that come out. Look. What an incredible looking flower. And there's all different colors. There's purple, yellow, orange, pink, red, and this is the Colorado state flower. And they only show up high mountain elevations for a very short time, and then they're gone. They're just beautiful.
Isn't it actually illegal to pick them?
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's illegal to pick any of these flowers. But look at this, how could you? And it was at this very moment that the lack of oxygen to the brain combined with the unbelievable beauty of this place completely derailed my thought process. I was going to say, why would anyone want to pick these flowers? But that thought just kind of vanished, and I ended up doing this. Man, even though we're at like 10,500 feet and there's 40% less oxygen, you can't help but be overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of this place. It is absolutely incredible. Man. Here's a closer look at this beautiful flower. And I did a little bit of research. It is illegal to pick this or any other wildflowers in the state of Colorado. So if you make your way into a high mountain valley loaded with wildflowers, just leave them alone so everyone else can enjoy them too. As if all of this isn't beautiful enough, there's waterfalls. I love water. I love waterfalls. Oh man, let's go check this out. This is crazy. This place is so freaking cool, man. Can you tell I like waterfalls? I decided to put a neutral density filter on my camera, which would block some of the light coming into the lens. This lets me shoot at a slower shutter speed, so the waterfall looks like this. You get that nice misty effect with all the water. The neutral density filter, just think of it as a dark pair of sunglasses for your camera lens. It will allow you to shoot at a slower shutter speed, and all that moving water flows through the shot and ends up with that misty look. Too bad the wind was blowing during this shot, and that movement was enough to cause blurred foliage in the shot. So let's try it from another point of view. A short hike up the hill gives us a different point of view on the same waterfall. I should be able to set up here and get the waterfall, the meadow, and the mountains all in one shot. And here it is. Wow, now that is just incredible. This time the wind didn't blow and I didn't get any blurred foliage. But man, what a view. After getting this shot, I turned back to get another view of the meadow, and I noticed my truck far off in the distance. This will give you a good perspective on things. Do you see my truck? That's it right there. Look how small it is compared to that mountain and the sprawling meadow. This is one of those places that really helps you get a different perspective on life. The air, while a little thin, it's so fresh, clean, and cool, and the visuals are just out of this world. But there's one more place I'd like to show you while we're here. Let's go meet the Twin Sisters. In order to get to the Twin Sisters, we have to hike just a little more up this already tiring incline. Slow and steady wins the race here, and the sound of rushing water should give you a good clue as to what the Twin Sisters are. Two majestic waterfalls that come from the top of this massive, smooth outcropping. And in order to get the best image of these beauties, I have to walk through the icy cold water, set up my gear, and take a long exposure shot. Flip-flops probably weren't the best choice for shoes here, and my son got a kick out of watching my feet turn red from the freezing cold water, but it was all worth it because I got this beautiful shot of the twin sisters. There's so much going on in this shot. You have the twin sisters, all of those awesome fir trees, that big blue sky with just the right amount of clouds, and the row of foliage that frames both sides of the water, pushing your eyes towards the falls. Here's one of the cool things about using a high megapixel camera like the D850. I can crop this image to remove the lower falls and get a shot like this. Or I could remove the sky and go in tight on just the upper falls like this. I could also crop in to just show the calmer portion of water in the foreground, but I like the entire scene with everything in it like this. Wow, what an incredible place. So what was your favorite part of the video? The hairy, scary ride up the side of the mountain, the thousands of beautiful wildflowers, those crazy waterfalls, or how about those massive epic mountain vistas? I kind of liked it all. That place is really magical, and it's one of those rare places where you can go and kind of reset your body, mind, and soul. And standing in that water, it might have been really cold, but as strange as it sounds, man, my feet felt great after that for quite a while. It was kind of strange. As usual, let me know in the comments below. Click that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. And if you'd like to know how I've set up my D850 for wildlife and birds in flight, I have a guide at my website that's available in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you later.